The call came at 2:47 p.m. I remember because the clock on my office wall had just clicked forward when my head of security cleared his throat. "Sir, your wife just checked into our hotel. She's not alone." I didn't ask which hotel. I own them. All of them. I turned my chair slowly toward the wall of monitors. 48 live feeds. Marble lobbies. Polished elevators. Hallways dressed in gold light. Camera 32 caught her first. Emerald dress. The one I bought her in Milan. The one she said she was saving for a special occasion. She wasn't alone. He placed his hand at the small of her back like he belonged there. I watched them walk into my empire like it was theirs. And I felt nothing. Not rage, not heartbreak. Just confirmation. There was a time when she looked at me like I built the sun. We met at a charity gala in Karachi. She spilled champagne on my cufflinks and apologized like she'd committed a crime. I told her accidents make life interesting. She laughed. I remember that sound. Back then, I was still building the chain. 1 hotel, then 2, then 5. She sat beside me during inspections, barefoot on unfinished floors, talking about how we'd name our future children after cities. She believed in me before the banks did. Or at least she said she did. I married her in the courtyard of my first property. Private ceremony. Only close friends. She whispered, "It's us against the world." I believed that. The world was never the problem. She was. The changes were small at first. Late Pilates classes. Phone turned face down. Perfume I didn't buy. I don't confront without evidence. Emotion clouds judgment. I built my life on numbers, not feelings. So I watched. Patterns don't lie. Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., same driver request. Same destination, one of my newer properties across the city. She didn't know it was mine. The holding company kept my name off the paperwork. She didn't know I could see everything. The first time I saw him clearly, I paused the footage. Zoomed in. Young, confident, careless. He kissed her in the elevator. She didn't resist. That was the moment my marriage ended. Not when I saw them enter the room. Not when I watched her laugh in a bed I paid for. It ended in that elevator. In the reflection of stainless steel, where I saw her choose him without hesitation. I closed the laptop, and I began planning. I didn't scream. I didn't throw glasses. I didn't call her. I called my lawyer, then my financial advisor, then my head of HR. Control is power, and I had all of it. First, I moved assets. Quietly, legally. Every property transferred into an irrevocable trust. My name secured. Her access reduced to allowances she wouldn't notice missing. Second, I initiated a morality clause audit on all executive employees, including the young man in room 1907. He worked for one of my subsidiary companies. Junior marketing manager. Recommended by someone I trusted. Background check revealed gambling debt. Significant. I purchased the debt. Now he didn't just sleep in my hotel. He owed me. Third, I prepared the divorce papers. Infidelity clause. Clauses she signed years ago without reading. She always trusted me with the paperwork. Trust, such a fragile currency. At 4:12 p.m., they ordered champagne to the room. I authorized it personally. Complimentary. At 4:47 p.m., I instructed security to disable their keycards. At 4:48 p.m., I walked into the lobby. No anger in my stride. Just precision. They came down 20 minutes later, confused, slightly irritated. She saw me first. Her face drained of color so quickly I almost admired it. He looked between us, trying to calculate the situation. Poor man, he had no numbers to work with. "Enjoying the stay?" I asked calmly. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. I handed him an envelope. Inside was the documentation of his debt purchase and termination letter. "You're fired," I said softly. "And your creditor would like to discuss repayment terms." His hands shook. Then I handed her another envelope. Divorce papers. Asset breakdown. Her new financial reality. She stared at the figures. "This isn't possible," she whispered. "It is," I replied. "You signed the agreement." Her voice cracked. "You were watching?" I was aware. That hurt her more than yelling would have. He tried to leave. Security blocked the exit until he signed acknowledgement of termination. She tried to cry. I didn't comfort her. I stepped closer. "I built everything you walked into today," I said quietly. "Every room. Every camera. Even that elevator." Her lips trembled. "Why didn't you stop me?" "Because I needed you to choose." and she had. I didn't say it aloud. I didn't need to. The divorce was finalized within weeks. Public statements cited irreconcilable differences. Privately, she moved into a rented apartment far from marble lobbies and gold lights. He declared bankruptcy. I expanded into 2 new cities. Sometimes people ask how I handled betrayal so calmly. They expect bitterness. But revenge isn't loud. It's structured. It's knowing the building will collapse because you quietly removed the foundation. I still have the footage archived. Not to relive the pain, but to remember the lesson. Trust is beautiful. Control is better. At 2:47 p.m., my marriage ended. By 4:48 p.m., my freedom began.